So let's turn this chest of drawers into this and I'll show you how I did it. So I gave everything a really good clean down with some sugar soap. This chest of drawers used to belong to my nan and is now my sister's. It was in need of a bit of TLC. The veneer on the drawer fronts had quite a lot of damage, so I decided to take the whole thing off. And it came off quite easily, so I figured it was the right thing to do. So each drawer front then got a really good sanding down just to get all that glue off from underneath. Gave everything a wipe down and then I filled in 2 of the old handle holes. So I carried on sanding down everything else on the unit. The veneer on this was in really good condition, so I didn't need to take this off. Although the top has got a bit of water damage, so I might need to address that in a bit. Then once this was done, I gave everything a wipe down and began on the first coat of paint. And for this, I'm using Frenchique's Lazy range called Stone Rosy. Once the first coat had dried properly, I gave everything a good sanding back with the 240 grit sandpaper. For all the larger flat surfaces, I used my orbital sander. And then all the detail work I did by hand. And then wiped everything down before going in with the second coat. I always find the second coat goes on a lot easier. It also gives you a much better idea of what the finished colour is going to look like. So I'm just going to zip through all the rest of the painting and just show you what I'm going to do on the inside. I'm just going to use some beeswax polish and I'm going to put all this on the runners. This is going to make them glide a lot smoother. Now going back to that water damage on the top. So after the first coat you can still see the deep grooves in the veneer. So I'm just using some wood filler and I'm just going to gently rub it into the grooves just to see if it feels it enough but doesn't completely get rid of them. So that's actually worked really well. So I've just wiped it all off gently with a cloth but not to take the whole lot out. So I still need to sand it but it looks pretty good. So before I started on the third coat I gave everything a rub down by hand with a 400 grit sanding pad. Some of the holes that I filled in the drawers just needed a little bit of extra coat of filler before a final sand and a final coat of paint. Then each runner on the drawer had a good coat of beeswax polish. This is the new hardware to go on the chest of drawers, so I'm just going to get those fitted. So these just simply push through and then they've got a little nut on the back. Once everything's had a good few hours to dry, I put everything back together and it's all finished. I'm really pleased how this turned out and most importantly, my sister absolutely loves it. So thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next one.